Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Bavarian and this is of course Crusader Kings 3. We return here to a playthrough that I can't believe has been as long as it has been and yet has told so many stories in such a radical way. I hope that you understand that sometimes you have to make choices. I hope that you understand that sometimes these choices, no matter how, much feedback I of course read and no matter how much I think about it, can't always make everybody happy. In the last days I saw so many great cases for example, Abakada, for Ali, for X, for so many of our children that I think to a degree, basically neglect. Now that is of course storytelling potential right there that I hope will come back to us, but let's talk about what we will actually be doing. Prince Vaya has thought about this, of course, for such a long time. Prince Vaya the Impaler, if you think about it, his entire story, his entire rise began by him holding the Condado of Cominges and basically being in a very bad situation. He and his brothers, of course, Piares and also Prince Louis the Kind, they were being mistreated in comparison to Prince Asna IV and Prince Lope Aznares. That is the fundamental story. And I think that this is sticking with him. Prince Vaya, no matter how he looks at it, he wants his children to stick together as a unit. He wants to, have them recognize that, of course, everything that matters is within them. Within their blood, but also within their connection. And I think that this is a very important story, because this also ties back to why he now actually and actively sides with Nunya's children the way that he does. First of all, it has to be said, Nunya de la Rioja, she is the person that was there throughout his whole life. Yes, of course, initially she was married to Ramiro, and initially you are looking at a situation where he himself, Prince Vaya, was going for Gerzenda and none of that worked out. Prince Vaya then pledged himself to Akkerbels, to the evil Black Goat, well, to the Black Goat, let's scratch the evil for the moment, and who pledged herself with him? Of course it was Nunya, but now she's gone. And I can't know whether Nunya and Prince Vaya would legitimately have become soulmates, but the way I look at this is that from a, standpoint of tradition, from a standpoint of course, prophecy, Pernell is technically speaking his soulmate. But on a personal level, I think he will always say to himself, but what about Nunya? If she were still alive, if only I had created the coven and the rites before this, if we had gotten the blessing, would she have been my darling? Would she have been my eternal soulmate? These are the questions that he can't get out of his head, and he has always been a fairly superstitious, a fairly melodramatic person, so these play exactly into this, and ultimately my decision will be that Conde Suero Veyes, that Gomez Veyes Boscarancia, and that Elizabeth Veyes Boscarancia will become the primary heirs. Most of them will become heirs basically before we ever even die. What I will be doing is, and let's start with that right away, I will get a claim on Tours, I will then usurp Poitiers, I will then hand it over to Conde Suero. He will be his own duke in Poitiers. Then I will take, a claim hopefully on Bigorra, I will create the duchy of Armagnac, and we will hand it over to Gomez Veyes Boscarancia. He will also become his very own duke, equal to his brother and to his sister. Elizabeth Veyes is chosen, as she does remind us of Nunya. She is the last that really reminds us of Nunya. Out of all the people around us, she will be our immediate heir. Now, why will she be our immediate heir? Again, we don't really consider family politics outside of, of course, don't wage war against your siblings, but it is fundamentally that these locations right here, that the home, both of us, but also of Conde Jacques Jacques, of his father Jacques Rodriguez, all of these people deserve to live in these locations as the ancestor spirits, and they must be valued by somebody that we value as much as we value them. Elizabeth Veyes is not just the heiress to, of course, Basconiaco itself, but to the actual Lapordi, to the actual homes of us and our ancestors. As she reminds us of the person that we love, she deserves this exact location. That is where I'm coming from here. There is a bit of a difficulty, I'll just say this outright, with X and of course with Abakada and Ali and even Bermudo, all of these folks. The problem fundamentally is that we can't really marry them out. I hope that many of them will simply become wanderers and achieve things, There is sadly no place for them when it comes to holding land. It has to be said. I have declared my daughter and heir Elizabeth to be my legitimate child and a member of House Basque. It has taken me a lot of thought to arrive at this conclusion, and while some might disagree, it was the right thing to do. Your future is bright. Again, this is a complex question, but on a personal level. Prince Vea will forever be heartbroken. He will forever be melodramatic when it comes to Nunya, and think of the what if, what could have been, and so on. And a part of that, of course, is satisfying Nunya's children and making them act as a unit in Bascognaco, in Armagnac, and of course in Poitiers. Now, there is one open bill. Erege Lope Matrones. We lost the fight against Erege Aznar II. We lost it. It was a very odd thing. He was a strategist, not a fighter, and yet he bested us. But Erege Lope has something that we want, and that I will challenge him for. It is the crown of Bascognaco. This crown we have a claim on, and this crown was created, of course, in, you know, the eyes of the Decomingus family and of the Dukes of Bascognaco. He can wear this as the crown of Aquitaine, but this crown, much like we, much like our family has returned home, this crown must return home as well. Let's hope that he accepts the challenge, that I can get the crown back, and then we can look towards the future, because there's so much waiting for us. Roi Guiget of Italy is, of course, the king of Italy, and technically speaking, the emperor of the entire Carolingian Empire as well, but just second in line is Erege Lope. And we don't love Erege Lope, there's no love left for him, but I will tell you, there could be a world, and I'm not yet set on this, where we actually act against Duke Hildebert, who is the first in line. Not because we love Erege Lope and want him on the throne, not even because we care for the family politics of having a Decomingus on the throne in all of these lands, no. It would be because we want to, quote-unquote, unlock the Gelonese family into our influence. If we can get them under the same crown, they are no longer protected by Italy, no longer protected by an emperor, and we could finally clean up, we could finally cleanse this other side of the coin, this other witch coven could be destroyed by us, much like our father already wanted it, although of course he was motivated by religion, by a very different reasoning, but this is something that I also have kept in mind. So there is this family explanation, again, everything going on with our children, with our siblings, and so on, and then there is the geopolitical thought that from our position, from Prince Vea's positions, isn't geopolitical at all. It is driven by witchcraft and by his influence. Now, let's get the boulder rolling and see where we end up. Come on, you can't interrupt me with this. I wanted to see whether we get the duel. My nephew Condescent Tula has been hovering around my council meetings lately. Knowing his interest in matters of leadership, I cannot help but feel that the man is waiting for me to impress him. I could probably engage him in conversation. On the other hand, it might be better for him to simply see me interacting with my men. There's something to be said for at least pretending to know every soldier's face. Condescent Tula Piarezes, he respects us a lot. We did give him counties, of course. We should go greet some recruits. Respected figurehead. Levy reinforcement. That's pretty good, but we are full as far as our levies are concerned. And let us discuss methods of communication. You know what? Yeah, let's talk about it. And here we go. I have waited for this. We are here with our spear. He is here with Comzubert's sword. You know what? I actually want to investigate that just for a second here. I remember getting this, but how did we get this? Created for Kühns Hubert of Caspe. He is a Toulouse, right? Oh, House Toulouse was so large, and then they started intermarrying in the Gelonese family. I do recall indeed. And then he took it in the Battle of Tolosa. Interesting. Either way, we will strike him down. Lope tries hesitantly to launch a thrusting jab at me, but the blow is easily swatted away. He is not a good soldier. It is admirable, and I do admire it, that he actually accepted the challenge. He sees Prince Vea, this monster, excommunicated, an impaler, somebody that goes and brings as much sorrow as he can. And Prince Vea honors, or rather tells him, I want an honorable challenge for this privilege of holding the crown of Bascognaco. And Erege Lope, for better or for worse, maybe it is his sense of justice, actually accepted. I respect this, in a very odd way, right? But I think Prince Vea accepts this. Now, this is the only non-stress version. You try to intimidate him. You know what? Maggot, you think you can stand against me? Absolutely. Commanding the rebel in battle is an exercise in shouting and intimidation, and I demonstrate this to Lope by screaming foulness at the top of my considerable lungs. Unexpectedly, Lope manages to swing a vicious kick to my shin, momentarily hobbling me. This is very scary to me. We lost the last time thanks to these sort of kicks to our shins, and my form is deteriorating fast. We need to act. I think, you have to let your guard down eventually, cowards. We could do that. We could do to the floor with you. Cautiously but firmly. You test the strength of Lope's guard. His stance is failing out of nowhere. That's so funny. We didn't do anything yet, and yet it is failing. You know what? I will probe him, and I will test his strength. Wow, and I immediately win. What a disaster for him. Fighting tactically, I keep most of my attacks as feints, only leaning it into the strikes that will hit hardest. The result is a nasty battle of attrition, at least from Lope's point of view, that eventually ends in me smacking the sword from his tired hands. Fortunately for Lope, we both could see how this bout was going to end some time ago, and he's quick off the mark with a yield once disarmed. I have to wonder, if he is this disastrous a fighter, why did he accept the challenge? Did he do it in the hope that after we claim the crown, we would reconcile with him? I am victorious. We got the most important thing that we really wanted. The crown of Basconiaco. It has, after all this time, returned into my hands. Erege, of course, it was made by Duke Lope IV, then to Asna, then it went to Asna II and Lope. We, son of the man that, you know, inherited it first, Erege Asna I, we have received the crown yet again. And now we can wear it and hopefully make it so that instead the crown of Basconiaco will indeed, you know, be remembered as the crown of the Duke of Basconiaco, which only we are. Nobody else has a right to it. We do, of course, also have a claim. This is a house claim because we are a cadet branch, but yeah, there you go. Wow, I don't know. It now depends all on Erege Lope. If he is a welcoming ruler, maybe we can finally see sense. Because I said this in the last episode, Erege Asna and Lope here, they are basically the same person. Just look at, it's insane to me how similar they are visually speaking. If he shows us that he isn't his father, that he isn't a zealot, maybe we can forgive him and let bygones be bygones. Either way, we are of course also fabricating the claim here. Let's hope that that happens quite soon. We do have some prisoners here. You are the son of Elizabeth. I don't know any of you. I will ransom him, absolutely. And of course, we have a lot of marriages here. I talked about this in the past. I don't know where to give them, basically. Like, who to hand them over to when it comes to marriage. You are married to Infanta Luitgard of Asturias. You know what? I actually have a great idea. I saw this in the off-camera. I think Gomez should marry Fakio. Fakio is the daughter of Prince Louis the Kind, and this would be a very, very strong connection. He does have a bastard, yes, certainly, but she is the heiress of Prince Louis the Kind, making it so that if Gomez actually gets the Duchy of Armagnac, he would be ruling it with his wife. I think that is a very solid choice. This would be peace in the family, peace with our brother, peace with everybody that is relevant, really, ultimately. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of this, of course, and we can carry on from there. Then we have Olaf. Who the hell is this? Oh, Olaf is the child of Gontroda. That is so damn funny to me. He is at the court of Armagnac because I believe that is where Gontroda is. I don't know why she is there. She certainly isn't leaving. Oh, she is the mother of Duke Galindo. Gontroda, Duke Galindo can't rule. I have to tell you this. My children, Nunya's children, are more important than you. This is actually quite interesting. It's a dynamic that I didn't even consider, but we are moving against the child, not our child, against the child of one of our lovers. And our lovers, Gontroda, she can't speak in favor of her own child because ultimately we do not care. In our fury, we want Nunya's children to be at peace. I don't care for Gontroda's children. Interesting. Egidio has died. I admittedly don't really know who you are. Ah. You want to make me a marshal. Erege Lope. Are you a good man? It certainly seems like it. He's currently on campaign in the British Isles. He has a magnificent goblet. He has a sturdy throne, of course, the Vasconia dynasty banner as well. And the Vasconia Chronicles. What is this? An opulent chronicle detailing the history of the well-known Vasconia dynasty, first offered to Erege Asna II. The cover is wood that has been painted to display a repeated image of mythological beasts. Oh my god. Asna II. And Lope. Did we mistake you? Are you actually good people? Isn't that interesting? I think we respect Eregelope. As silly as it sounds, but this man is in a position where he accepted the duel despite knowing he would lose, where he did his best, where he tried to be honorable about it, and he gave us the crown without any further issues. And all of a sudden, look at that, we are neutral towards him because I just was named the Marshal of the Realm. And if that doesn't give me the power that is required to later on, should Italy be unified, of course, with Aquitaine, should that happen, we would all of a sudden be in a position where, well, we are one of the most influential people of a realm of this size. I'll be honest with you, I think we might want to bury the hatchet. We might want to see one another as friends, and Duke Hildebert as what it is, as the enemy. Could I kill him? It's very risky. I like that it is very risky. That could be interesting. He is incestuous, likely, quite frankly, because he is, of course, the grandson of Duchess Ida. Likely, he is also a witch. And you know what? Speaking of witches, no chance. Interesting. He doesn't like me. That's fair enough. He will stay out of the witch coven. He doesn't know what's going on, and he mustn't know. Now, with that being said, I will definitely get the siege weapon effectiveness. It's just so damn good. It is, like, just amazing, because it really makes it so that the only thing that we will be doing in the future wars here as this character is basically sieging, and it will be even faster than ever before. I like it. And how are you losing this war, by the way? What is happening here? Oh, no. Are they gonna wipe him here? What is happening? You are also under attack by Wieden. I see. I can't believe I'm saying this, but she's coming for this county. I think I will defend Eregelope. I am a march. Keep this in mind. This is technically my obligation. I always skirted it. I never participated in this, but this is a defensive war against somebody that was honorable to us. Yes, we bested him in a duel, but he was honorable throughout. You know what? I stand by your side. No, even more, I am your blade and your shield. At least in this instance. Let's challenge her. Does she have any allies? It is interesting, by the way, of course. She has an internal ally. Wait a minute. She's actually fighting him, technically. Oh, that is so funny. Duke Gerard IV. I guess they don't have to be friends, right? How did this happen? It is your children, right? Your siblings, basically. We have this war. We will participate. We will hopefully succeed and prove ourselves worthy of the position that we are in. Now, it is... Ooh, and the dynasty had changed. This is temporary. I believe this is temporary. Did you just get wiped, my friend? Yeah, he just got wiped up here. I'm gonna... This is somewhat cheese, but I don't see it as cheese, because, like, we would just be doing it via the bishop here. In the absence of the king, as he is up in the British Isles, we are effectively the regent at this moment. And it just so happens that the regent, until he loses that power because the king returns, found that he should be the Lord of Bigorra, which he will of course then hand over to Gomez. Bigorra has been claimed as the head of the family for the moment, as I am the most powerful in this region if the king is absent. We are looking at what hopefully will amount to a grand victory. How is this? This would be an equal fight. Ooh, and he will leave the court. Honestly, Abakada, obviously I will keep track of you, but I'm very curious about what you will experience. Abakada vs Basque Garancia. I hope he will find something glorious. Oh yeah, did I mention, by the way, I changed Condesuero's family crest and motto. I gave him family above all else, because that is, of course, what is instilled in his mind. Despite all the lunatic ravings, those are the, you know, at least the very few reasonable things we said. And he is a friend of Elizabeth. He's in a position, of course, where, you know, Elizabeth and he will make for a good alliance here in this region. And I just noticed he's an enemy of Alena. You know what? Alena, if you're an enemy of my son, then you can't be in the position that you are. Alcate Nagusi Fernando. I could reassign Prince Louis. Quite frankly, I like Prince Louis. I do like Prince Louis' existence. I'm gonna put Princess Belasquita on here. This is a family business. This entire thing is a family business. And you are coming to aid as well. Should I take this challenge here? I don't know. Quite frankly, it is definitely risky. It is Hills, and I mean, it is me. I'm an amazing commander, aren't I? I could wait for him to lose a few more troops, or for her, I should say. Who's the actual commander here? Ah, it is her. Outright. You know what? I'll do my best. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Let's hope that this will be a successful battle. We are an outstanding command, of course, but oh my god. Never back down, chivalry focus, martial skill. Improved pillaging basically brought me down here. Wait, is that... Improved pillaging? Wait, what the hell is that? Improved pillaging. Am I losing it? Where's that modifier coming from? I have no idea. But what I can tell you is this is going to be a hard fight. She is a great commander. That we are succeeding in this battle. We will... Gomez has died. Oh, it was in battle. You are kidding me. I mean, he was the pride. Wow. He was the pride of my army. He marched with us and she defeated him. If I capture her, you know what will happen to her. Gomez dies, and with him a part of the memory of Nunya. My god. My god. Can we still get this? Oh, wait, no, you're not the right daughter. You are the correct daughter. Oh, you are in my court actually at this point in time. Oh, that is very, very interesting. We do have Bermudo, who is the son of Guntroda. I see that as somewhat valid at the very least. If you think about it, we are ousting somebody that is, of course, related to Guntroda. It is right here, Duke Galindo, and we are putting our own son in charge. But it is her son. You know what, Bermudo? You will get, you know, you will be the new husband. You will serve, of course, as my knight, and Bigora will eventually be yours. Man, Gomez is gone. That is painful. Nonetheless, I will continue with the plan there of basically leaving Basconiaca to our primary heir, as it should be. And now let's start sieging them, as it should be. Oh my god, and Louis simply immediately died. This is, what are these deaths? How did you die, Louis? Died from his wounds. Oh my god. Alright, so now we have Condessa Fakir Louise. She already is pregnant. Conde Bermuda, is that you? Either way, okay, that is quite interesting. We're looking at a situation with that where already she now holds the position that we were looking forward to there. She is married to Conde... Ah, common name, huh? Conde Bermudo, yet again. Who the hell is Jacques Alvarez? Ah... Those were the folks that held the land in Lusignan. Right. Yeah, Conde Alva, the son of Duke Lope IV and brother of Errega Asna. Very, very interesting. Now, what do we have here? The black-winged stilts. That's a type of bird, right? I was passing by a part of my realm where there were curious small ponds, or a couple of small ponds, when I noticed a few birds of a curious appearance by the water. They had pied plumage and, most notably, stick-like pink legs. A couple of them moved around in circles in some sort of dance, which looked a little comical to me, given how their legs looked. A guard explained to me that this was the black-winged stilt. Fascinating to know, is a bird found across the old world. It is often found in marshy areas, and one of its most distinct features is its long, thin legs. Tell me more about birds, my friend. Right, if we do this, right, monthly diplomacy lifestyle experience plus 4%, I think we're not that interested in birds. Now, are they coming to challenge me? This is the big question here. I think they're just gonna go around. Yeah. Oh, they're actually coming to challenge me. In the meantime, this battle currently is not going very well. I will tell you this outright. I hope that they come to aid me, but see it done. Right, I get the claim on Tuas, as it should be. I don't think any of my other folks died in this battle so far, but we are going to lose... Ah, yes, the reinforcements almost made it in time, but sadly only almost. I tried to keep sieging there. At the very least, nobody died. I will take it in stride. Is it ideal? I mean, most certainly not, but... my allies will be able to mop them up, and that is all we need. A claim on Marzana. Fakir's Episcopus. I assume that this still... Why are you so angry, Condessa Fakir? Lies and more lies. Obviously these are lies. Are you kidding me? Don't act against me in this way, Condessa Fakir. That is a bad choice. That is a terrible, terrible choice. But I do think we have done our due diligence in this war. It will be won, and it is effectively over. I think that is fair to say. What is also fair to say is that Duke Galindo here, let me see. Whomstuff do I have a truce with? Only Duke Galindo. Duke Gilles II, Foneldes, is the first to fall. He has no troops and he is allied to Duke Galindo. You know what? Certainly. I will push my claim and do what must be done. Let's get this bread, let's destroy them. Even with our limited forces, we will, without a doubt, still be superior, and then we can go from there. There is a secret that is now exposed. Fonilde Foneldes. Right. And Neko is not the son of Duke Gilles, it is the son of Prince Louis. Yeah, I am not very surprised. Now let's win this war, this battle again. It really shouldn't be an issue. Let's just, yeah, I mean, come on. I wish we had imprisoned the right person there, but we didn't. Conde Alva Anses is still, or rather is now in our prison. He did serve on the enemy side, and I can't be positive about that to any degree. Yeah, you know what? You should fear me. You should never try this again. Ooh, and I learn of a murder secret. Still, of course, I torture him. We are a cruel, cruel man. What is this secret? Why don't you show this to me? Murdered Conde Zentulo. Wait a minute. He murdered Conde Zentulo, who ruled in Montagu. Meaning, him holding Montagu is unjust. He murdered his own brother. Yeah. Wow. That is unacceptable. I will expose the secret here. Absolutely. I will expose you as a murderer. I have also seized a worn language manual, and I have seized his wife, Duchessa Elisabeth Enekes. She is the daughter of Etiennette Bonafazi and Eneko. Yeah, we don't really have any personal relationships with her. She didn't fault us. She didn't really do anything. I will simply accept a ransom. Oh, it would just be a favor. No, you know what? I will keep you in prison until the war's over. You are safe here, and safe you should be. You know what? Let's go for Montagu. Maybe we can capture his children here. They shouldn't rightfully hold these lands. Let's just be frank about this. Baroness Julienne has become a ruler. She is, of course, married to our nephew in Argent here, and she now holds the county of Retest. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And she does now have claims on France. Oh! Roi Guichard died. He's gone. Roi Carloman IV. And it is honestly blowing my mind. He is the spitting image of the actual Carloman. We can't see his face anymore. But this is the spitting image of Carloman that he started all of this, if you remember. He started the movement to make an independent Aquitaine. Roi Carloman IV looks exactly like him. And now Princess Julienne has claims on France. They will be given to our relatives right here, to Conde Zentulo's children. This will still be pretty interesting, I think. I think there is a dynamic here that even we haven't fully discovered. How are you doing, by the way? Ooh, he is wounded. Duke Hildebert, if you were to die, the world would be thankful. Or, well, I would be thankful either way. Let's finish this war. Let's finish the war in the south, and then we may think about the geopolitical implications of all of this. Who did we imprison here? This child, Conde Ramiro. Could ransom him. Oh, he died in my dungeons. Bled out after a lengthy torture session. Conde Alva Anses got what he deserved. A murdering kinslayer. Yep. That kid had to buy his freedom. I mean, did he deserve it? I don't know. I don't think so, but even so. Anyway, Conde Suero, just a second ago, you were quite appalled by me taking these steps, but this is your land now. And not too long into the future, we will, of course, usurp Poitiers, and then we actually have, taken care of our son. Now, on the other hand, you, of course, must also be taken care of. We still have that truce. Until when? 18 months. We can wait. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I will pay homage. Erege Lope, look at this. Both of our opinions are no longer this negative. We aided in the war, of course, and he gave us what we demanded after an honorable duel. I will pay homage, and I could bestow some gifts. You know what? Yeah, let's gift him some money. He is in the red. He better appreciate this. I can't believe it. I'll just say it, that we are actually pledging fealty outright and explicitly to Erege Lope here. But I think the old wounds are being mended. His father is not him, and he has showcased this quite a number of times by now. Servants, usher me into Erege Lope's great hall in Carcassonne, where he sits at his throne, waiting to hear my pledge. I kneel at the feet of my lord and pledge the many oaths of homage, as his scribes record the event. My attendants then follow, presenting my rich gifts to the Erege before the assembled court. Lope bids me to arise and confirms his satisfaction, along with my rights to the lands that I rule in his stead. Renown, of course, that is wonderful. We gain prestige, the homage ends, and he gets some money. Yeah, I accept it. Oddly enough, I accept it. And it makes me wonder whether all of a sudden it isn't just the hatred of the Gelonese family, but maybe also a favor to our Erege, that we put him into the place that he deserves. The Kingdom of Italy. I am so curious about all of this. Ooh, and one of her secrets got out. I wonder what that is. Do you think she's cheating on Conde Bermudo? Because I kind of feel like she is. Before he even gets the title, Conde Bermudo Veyes, I guess he technically has a title because he is married to Condessa Fakio, but he founded his own dynasty, House Vizcaya of the Vizcaya dynasty, by respect and safety. Frankly, Bermudo, I think you make a good ruler, and Controda will agree that what I am doing here is justice. It's putting you right where you belong, ruling over Armagnac. And with that, I mean, Gomez sadly is gone. This is a huge, huge shame. And if I had the tools, Kühns Gerhard, he would suffer. Maybe he will suffer. Quite frankly, maybe he will suffer. I don't know what to do with the other children. I could... Oh, he left. Abakada left the court. Very important to take that into account. And Ali, see, the thing is, I could marry him off, but it would legitimately be so uninvolved. Like, it would be so damn odd. If you really think about it, we could marry him to the British Isles, to Thuringia, Butom. It's just odd. I would rather he explore his own story. If Ali at any given point actually goes out there, then that is better by me than anything else. And Duke Gilles II demands the beautiful rolling hoop. See, the funny thing about this is that artifact is broken and I literally can't use it. Sure. Yeah, I'll give it back to you. Oh, your wife is still in my prison, huh? You know what? I will simply... Why isn't he paying for her? Oh, yeah, he definitely can't pay for her. I could negotiate her release and recruit her. You know what? Duchessa Elisabeth, you stay in my court. Let me ask you a question. Duke Gilles II isn't a real man now, is he? Yeah, this should be fairly easy. We do have all the perks that make that quite easy when somebody is in our court. Hit and run. Absolutely. We're just becoming a better commander. It's always nice to see. And I think... Ooh, yeah, well, look at this. He's bestowing royal favor. We are, out of nowhere in my opinion, back in good graces with the king, and he's back in our good graces. I've been made aware that Duchessa Elisabeth is very close to her mother, Etiennette. Gaining her favor might help me catch Elisabeth's attention. Just checking. Alright, can't do that, that's fine. I will get Etiennette whatever she asks for, or I could help pay off her loans. No, I will get whatever she asks for, sure, that's fine. And oh my, I just got a stress break. This stress break happened because Velasquita has died. And this means that this of Wessex fella is now in charge of Lusignan. This is the funniest part about all of this to me. He is normally married to a Carling, meaning if we push his claim, we get nothing out of it. He just would become independent. He could technically lead to unification of these three kingdoms, but it is oh so unlikely. Velasquita being dead is a huge shame. We were friends. We were in a good position with one another. We almost were lovers, quite frankly, as disgusting as it sounds, but that is Prince Veyarites in a nutshell, I guess. And I think it will make him into an even more disturbed man. Absolutely, yes. I think that is completely valid. But isn't that interesting? Elderman Herbert Sigurdsson is now ruling Lusignan. I find it so funny. Either way, our truce will end in just a second. There it goes. And now we can take down Armagnac for good. Let's do it. Let's deal with them. Let's bring it home. And look at that. After searching the hallways of Duchessa Elisabeth's castle, clad in servant's garb to avoid notice, I find Elisabeth in a secluded garden. She lights up as she sees me, and the sight of her lights me up in turn. The ratty shirt I had donned soon lies forgotten on the floor. We've done it. Duke Gilles II is in the worst timeline. His father was betrayed by his wife, and of course now he himself is betrayed by Duchessa Elisabeth. Times are tough if you are from that part of the lineage, but what can you do? Not my bad, right? Anyway, the war here is over, meaning Armagnac is mine, and as we promised Bermudo the title, I will be giving it to him. He deserves it. Vizcaya, this, I gotta tell you, this is a horrible house symbol. Is there a better one I can get for him? Hopefully. God, I just hope that we can get a better one. You know what, let's get this. It's a white wolf on black background. It is yet again true, and it does stand for the same idea as we have it in our primary house, of course. Now, with all that being done, Poitiers will now be also usurped by me. And then in just a second, I'm certain, essential proposal comes first, I guess. Princess Fronilde, who is the sister of the king and married to Heramel. And wherever I go, my kinswoman is sure to follow. You know what? Yeah, absolutely. I will keep her close. I don't see why not. Would you look at that? She becomes my lover. Thank you. That's a free lover right there. But more importantly, shouldn't you be transferring Montaigu to me, my king? Now that we are the Lord of Poitiers, I'm pretty sure that you owe it to me. There you go. Montaigu now in our hands. And with all of this, Conde Suero can be granted Poitiers. I think... Oh, my god. Okay, now I actually need to hand over this vassal to him yet again, so that he can hand it over to him. But Duke Suero Veyes has risen. House Belzetic is as strong as they should be, and look at that. Yeah, this is just gorgeous. We lose barely any troops, of course, because our strength comes from the central area right here in La Pordilla, Brie, Bordel, and Marzana, but this only leaves Bigorra, and of course with that Armagnac as a whole, to be handed out, and then all of a sudden, we are looking at a fair assessment. We have been fair to our children. Oh, and look at this. This is what I wanted. Captain Abacada Veyes has become the leader of the Marchers of Asconia. I love this. Captain Abacada is memorable. And that is the way he should have been the entire time. And that is the way he now turns out to be. I love that. Now, on the other hand, now that we have dealt with the internal things, we only need to hand out Armagnac effectively. Maybe it is time to handle these things. It would take 8 years. This is a long-term plot. Will it work? Quite frankly, I don't know. But I would rather try... it was discovered. I would rather try than never do it. If Duke Hildebert inherits, Italy will never fall into Aquitanian hands. This is vital. But I also think this is a thing for the next episode. What you need to know is that we turn things completely around. Poitiers now ruled by our son, Armagnac going to be ruled by our son and our niece. We are looking at a new glorious time for our branch of the dynasty. Other than that, let's take a look at what has happened. I did notice a while ago that Burgundy lost a duchy here, and Sardinia, Corsica actually lost Corsica entirely. That is so funny to me. that is just gone. Other than that, the Ghaznavids are, my god, they are powerful, they are spreading. And I don't think they're gonna stop here. What are they doing? They are currently defending against the tyranny war. Not too interesting. The Seljuks are still here, but not sure whether they are actually gonna be doing something. Mikhail, that is the historical name there, has been born. We'll see whether they will be invading or not. Other than that, let's take a look at the religion. Catholicism, doubtlessly, is now in its strongest period. I would expect the Crusades quite soon, quite frankly, because the heathens have been kicked out of Northern Europe. Be that the British Isles, be that France, they are all gone. And all that remains are these incredibly radical factions here in Islam that may be threatening our pilgrims. I wouldn't participate, not as this character, but it is an interesting thought. Either way, Elizabeth has been set up. I don't know who to marry her to. If she had like a lover, for example, we could talk about it, but as it stands, I honestly don't know. Either way, I will see you in the next episode. I hope that maybe we are going to be looking at a funny little mega Aquitaine, but honestly, that seems to be out of my hands. I don't seem to have much success when it comes to this. I will see you later, alligator.